showers and thunderstorms today with strong southwesterly winds to 37 miles per hour.
It's a numbers game, especially for the situation that we're in. We're coming off of a high water event here 48 hours ago.
The outdoors is not a hobby. It's not our passion. It is our way of life. We make the perfect cast, slow our breathing to execute a perfect shot, spend hours researching locations and techniques. Regardless of effort, we fail. This series is not about incredible bites or trophy animals. Our goal here at Day One Outdoors is to educate our viewers utilizing new technology to offer a different perspective. Watch as we research new areas, plan out the day, and adjust to changing conditions. If not for other experienced outdoorsmen teaching me along the way, I wouldn't have this life. I owe it to them to pass this knowledge along. I owe it to you. Join us here on Day One Outdoors, and let's learn how to become more successful in the field and on the water from day one.
My left hand's trapped behind my back. Hi, fellas.
Hey, little guy.
Hi, buddy.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah, happy
What's up,
birthday.
brother? How you doing, man?
Good, man.
Good to see you. Hi, Sam. What's up, buddy? What's brother? I think it's going to be a really good day. I think it's hot. It's warm, but the bite is hot. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited. Fish with Cody, Adam, of course you behind the camera helping us out. It's going to be a good day. The bite's been really good. Sockeye fishing, Wells Dam, July. You gotta love it. It's hot. Yeah,
It's definitely July.
welcome to Eastern Washington.
Welcome to the Columbia River below Wells Dam. This is going to be a couple of episodes that we don't typically do, and that's because we like to plan out our shows and really try and make sure we're focusing in on different techniques and areas and how to target fish. Well, in this 2-episode set, we're actually going to be chasing a hot bite. These little sockeye just kept on coming and coming and coming all the way on up here upriver, and so we had to chase them. This is a fishery that doesn't happen very often because this stock of fish is very fragile. And so trying to predict the numbers of fish returning each year is difficult. This year, we have an abundance of them coming back. The regulations are fairly loose, 2 sockeye per person plus a king limit on top of that. There are barbs allowed up here, 2-rod endorsement. So today's gonna be a fun day. We drove all the way up, left at 5 o'clock in the morning, just got here, met up with Jared and Adam, and we're gonna put some lines in right away. We're gonna see if we can find some sockeye and kings this afternoon, maybe try a few different techniques that are different than what most folks do, because when you have this many fish up here, it's a great opportunity to try new techniques and different ways of targeting these fish than you normally would. When you have more opportunity of bites, that's more chances to learn. So I think Adam has us set up. Let's get some lines in. I saw them jump right there. They're rolling all around us. Let's see if we can't get a sockeye limit real fast. But since the camera's here, probably not gonna happen.
Sock them sockeye. You got a back eddy here, and the sockeye come upriver looking for the fish ladder, and they get in this back eddy and they kind of pile up. The kings do too. They kind of get stacked up in here, and it takes them a while to find their way out. So it's kind of a trap. We got them in a trap here, holding them for us until we come in here to catch them.
Catch anything yet?
Nope, waiting.
Ah, this fishery stinks, man.
Any bites?
Nothing.
Man, I thought you said it was good. Gosh, 45 seconds, 48 seconds.
There's no fish here. We just head home. So how are they hitting these? Are they just freight trainers or just little light thumps?
Both. Both. They'll thump and then bury it, or they'll just bury it, just slam it.
Yep.
So
Jared's already changed up his depth.
yeah, it seems to be really good.
Just
along
all
this bank.
rolling right there. We're fishing right below Wells Dam right now, which is a tail race system, and tail race systems are very, very difficult to fish, and that's because water level is constantly changing. And with these fish, like that one,
Oh.
eat the food!
Eat the food, Tina!
Come back. So it's difficult fishing these tail race systems because the water level is constantly changing. It can change every single hour, which displaces the fish, can push them off to the edges when they're letting a lot of water out. It can suck them into the deep water when they cut the flow completely. And that means that you need to change up your technique, your location. It could mean your colors, your scent, everything. So you need to be very, very versatile when fishing below dams like this, because the water can change quickly. And honestly, because we're allowed to fish this close to the dam, you need to be careful, because they turn on those turbines. It can turn into this nice little 2-3 foot rollers into 6 footers like that. So always pay attention to your surroundings.
You know, most of your traditional Dodgers are this. Your 8-inch Dodger, big wide side to side like this. And the fast limit, as you can see, smaller, more of a teardrop shape. And the way this blade is cupped, it's more of a faster action, hence the name fast limit, right? It's more of a whip. So it projects a different action onto your bait with the same leader length that is behind an 8-inch Dodger. So if you were to fish both Dodgers with the same leader length, you're gonna get more action out of the fast limit, be a little faster. So it's good to have a different tool in your toolbox to create a different action, because sometimes those fish may not want the slower action. They may want a faster action. And little things like that can be very simple, as to putting 1 or 10 fish in your boat. So just keep in mind, be willing to change, be willing to look at, the differences between Dodgers and Flashers and what they actually do for you versus, just color all the time.
Oh, here we go. Oh, he hit it and he's gone. What the heck?
Dude, there's so many of them down there.
I know.
Where's your bass rod at?
In there, that rod logger.
Right. The regulations up here allow for a 2-rod endorsement. So while I'm trolling back there, these sockeye are rolling everywhere, all around the boat. And if you've ever kokanee fished before, you know that a kokanee is just a landlocked sockeye. Well, when kokanee roll, they tend to be active enough to bite a jig really well. So I'm just gonna tie on a kokanee jig, see what happens. Never know. Like I said, this is a great opportunity to try new techniques that you normally wouldn't, because you only want to use what you know will work when fishing conditions are tough. Well, now we know we're going to catch fish. Fingers crossed, haven't done it yet. But we're at least confident enough that try some different things. Instead of putting out 2 troll rods, you're going to put this guy out, little top shot. So this is 20-pound Maxima braid 8 down to 12-pound fluorocarbon. I just put on a little tiny half-ounce fish field jig, pink and orange, little silverback for some flash. Might not be a heavy enough one, might need to go to 1 ounce, but I'm gonna start out with that.
Fishfield is your one-stop shop online for the gear you need here in the Pacific Northwest and beyond. From salmon and steelhead, saltwater, trout and kokanee, even crabbing. Visit fishfield.com today to place an order with no sales tax and have the gear you need shipped fast. Fishfield.com, we have what the Northwest outdoorsman needs.
Every once in a while, a new lure comes along that catches every angler's attention. It could be because of all the irresistible colors and finishes, or the patented skip beat action. Or maybe it's the wide variety of sizes designed for salmon, trout, walleye, steelhead, mackinaw, and more. But just for the record, we know one thing for certain. We didn't design the maglip to catch fishermen. Yakima Bait Company.
Right here we're trolling this little back eddy, and I don't, unlike most places where I troll for salmon, I don't pay attention to troll.
Come on.
Oh, we're on. It might be in.
It's just an overgrown kokanee.
I just took off, dude, and I was like, I'm gonna switch it. Dude, like, I'm gonna use it. Bam!
Woo!
I don't think that's a sockeye. I don't think that's a sockeye. I think we got a king, dude.
Run him down, Cap, run him down. So guys in Oregon City on the Willamette, they actually run these jigs. They run these 1 ounce jigs for jigging for kings, for springers. Ultralight bass gear. Hey Jared, you want to net this thing up here so we can run the boat?
Yeah.
Watch Jared, watch Jared. You got a prop guard on there?
Oh, we got a rod hung. Where's he at?
Behind the boat, underneath the motor.
Okay, well, I can't let off the gas right now, man.
Yep, you're good.
Not good.
Woo!
There you go. You gotta get out of this.
Yep.
Hopefully he comes out of there.
He's making a mess. It's a king.
Chinook on a spinning rod. The jig.
In fast current.
Sockeye. Fast current. Come on, fishy, come around the buoy.
That line goes straight down. I can go over top.
Yeah, it does.
We gotta keep the boat on this side.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go over the top. You take right at the buoy. I'll go over top.
Hold on, the current's like weird.
There we go. There we go. Fish is helping. There we go. We're clear.
Woo! Team up. Can't throw rocks. Good work.
Yeah. So it'll be tough getting them out of here because that current's just ripping straight in there. You can keep us out of there, Adam. Come the rollers. Hang on, Sam. Trying to drag him out of it.
He'll
Drag
come.
him down.
He'll come.
What a mess that fish has made. Got to reel all 3 troll lines in. Coming up. Finally getting tired.
Pay that fish, Adam.
He's coming up, he's coming up, he's coming up. What's coming again? Dude, that's a nice king. I'm getting tired. Jeez. Holy cow.
They fight hard over here. I'm telling you what.
Yeah, you weren't kidding.
536 miles from the ocean approximately, and they fight hard still. We got
I
a
call
lot
them
of
Washington, D.C. gangster fish because they are mean.
You're mean.
Not there yet. I just can't get his head up. See fish? Yeah, buddy. Dude, a hatchery fish just whooped me bad. Ultralight tackle. Adam, is this 20 or 30 pound on the braid?
20.
20 pound braid 8, 12 pound floral leader, and a little 1 ounce fish feel jig, and threw some of that shrimp spray on it. It just got whooped. And there he is. Holy cow, I'm tired. I'm done, boys. Ready to go home. Green chartreuse, pink, little 1 ounce fish feel jig, 12 pound leader, 20 pound braid, ultralight bass rod. Ow, my forearm hurts, but that was fun. That's what you come out here to try and do. You mix up your techniques a little bit. Everyone's out here trolling. We haven't seen anyone catch any fish yet, but guess what? We got one. It was a king. It wasn't even sockeye. Awesome. Okay, what is today's date?
I like to keep my troll speed between anywhere from 1 mile to 2 miles, somewhere in between there. Right now here in this back eddy, we got all these different currents. So sometimes we'll be trolling less than 1 mile. Sometimes we'll be trolling, over 2 miles an hour, depending on where we're at in the back eddy. And I kind of look more at line angle and rod action to know my stuff's working appropriately, and less at speed here. If you're fishing where you got more of a directional current, it's not changing, it's constant. Of course, you want good rod action. For Chinook, I like basically 1.8 to just over 2. Sockeye, like 1.5 miles to 2, a little slower than Chinook, even slower than 1.5 at times.
Time to put some fresh bait on here. Sockeye are really key into certain scents, similar to how like a coho will key in on a color. So it's important to change your bait. If you're not getting bit, and you're kind of got the right presentation, the right action, change your scents and things like that. So just being persistent about changing your bait, changing your scent, sending up your stuff, just checking your gear will help you effectively fish longer and catch more fish. So.
Because this was a last second trip, we didn't make it all the way up here and start fishing until about 2 o'clock this afternoon. So we're trying to hurry up and catch as many fish as we can before it gets dark. We've already got 1 king, so that's a great start. But sockeye are just like kokanee in the way that they are very visual. They have the largest eyes amongst the salmon. So on a day like today where there's no wind rip, grease calm, High sun right now, it's pushing 4 o'clock. We've been fishing for 2 hours. What we may need to do is just wait until maybe 6, 7 o'clock when the sun gets a little bit lower for the sockeye to start biting.
Salmon swim up to 3,000 miles to return to their exact place of birth to reproduce. Well, most of the time.
I'm a maniac on the floor, and I'm dancing like I've never danced before.
We tried meg lips along this shoreline here. We're impatient, all 3 of us, so time to fish some spin fish. We had some 360 flashers, mix it up again. We're gonna keep on switching up until we figure these fish out because we're short on time. I wanna catch a bunch of fish.
And we're short on patience. Double trouble. I got 4 right here, bro.
The 3 of us are all very impatient anglers. So we gave the mag lips 1 pass, and 1 pass only for 15 minutes. And we're already switching things up. We're gonna switch over to 360 flashers, that big rotating flasher, and some spin fish. They have the cavity that you can add bait into, but what's really neat about them is that you can interchange them. So this one here is a double trouble, chartreuse on the front and back, but I wanna have a little bit of blue in there. I really like blue when the water temperature gets over 60 degrees and stays a little bit under 70. So instead of running straight double trouble, I can switch up this Seahawk, which is mostly blue with a little touch of chartreuse, which is what I like in 68, 70 degree water. But I can remove that back end and add it to the front end of the double trouble. And now I have chartreuse on the bill, just a touch of that blue, chartreuse butt, and a little splash of the orange there underneath. So, you know, I played around a lot with how much bait do you actually add into the body cavity. And in all honesty, when you get into current this fast, it really doesn't seem to matter. When I was fishing the Willamette for springers and really slow current, you didn't want to overstuff it because that added more weight and it softened the action a little bit. But in this amount of current that we have right here below the dam, I'm gonna load up as much scent as possible. So I'm gonna just fill this thing up to the brim. And these things are real easy. There's no rubber band, there's no pieces to break, there's no hinge on it. They just seat together and water pressure keeps them pinned closed. There we go, we are all set. It is stuffed, dialed in, ready to be fished. Let's see if it works.
We've been getting these kings here up shallow. We haven't been fishing super deep on them. There's been a day here and there we've been getting them deeper, but generally up shallower than you'd think.
You know, basically what you're looking for in a rod is something, you know, in that kind of 10 to 10.5 foot range, you know, 10 to 30, 15 to 40, you know, something there will work just perfect for what we're doing. And you come down and you can use any sort of sinker slide. This happens to be a T-bead. This thing works really well for moss or gear that gets down your line. You'll funnel down your line, but this T-bead will fan it off and not let it get into all your spinning gear. And you know, speaking of spinning gear, a good quality bearing swivel, ball bearing swivel up here is definitely helpful when all your gear is spinning. You can see it snapped onto one of Adam's homemade bumpers here. Standard length's 24 inches. You can use all sorts of different stuff in this to get your 24 inches. You know, I use a 50-pound Maxima or a 60-pound Maxima mono a lot in this. A lot of guys will crimp this titanium, but 24 inches there. Down to a Pro chip flasher. This one's chrome. Chrome's one of my favorite ones. It pretty much works everywhere, all times of the year. And as we're fishing a spin fish, I like to come down with this bead chain on the bottom of the Pro Troll. Again, we're using all this gear that's spinning, and this spin fish spins, you know, a pretty high rate of speed. So I like to keep something down to keep it from getting bound up. This dual lock snap helps me to be able to change these out quicker, and I have them all pre-tied on a fishing leaderboard. And then I have 30-pound Maxima leader, ultra green, you know, tough stuff. Down to my 2.5 spin fish, a few beads 3 to 5 millimeter works perfect. Color I think is more important. And then 2 odd hooks is what is on this 2.5 spin fish. So kind of a simple rigging, you know, down to what you need. And you know, the rod just helps you dictate the action.
On the surface.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, buddy, fish on. Oh, dude, what are you doing?
Just trying to catch up to him.
Trying to catch up.
You were trying to bounce him in.
I went to fix him on the boat and I lost it.
Why'd you try and bounce him in the boat like a bass?
Well, let me tell you the reason.
What's the reason?
I don't really have one.
Okay, all right.
But that's why I did in the boat whenever I was alone.
Well, show us what you lost that fish on.
So I'm fortunate enough in this summer fishery that we've gotten due to the high numbers of fish coming back that I got prototypes for our new lure. Now we have a size 4.0 and a 3.0 at this point in time, and we're coming out with a 2.0 and a 2.5. Well, we just got the first shots out of the mold. As you can see, this is a 2.5 spin fish here, which means 2.5 inches long. This one seems to work best since I've been testing it with these are 2 odd hooks. You can see my spacing. This is a 30-pound maximum leader on this one. You can see the spacing, and I like it extended back a little bit like that, especially for these sockeye, because a lot of times our short biters are, you know, they kind of finicky, and so this hook extended back a little bit helps me land more fish, unlike the one I just lost at the boat. But hey, you gotta have some fun. A few beads, I've noticed bead color for sockeye makes a difference, you know, and so I've noticed these pink beads have done really well. Pink and chartreuse has been a good combination this year. Some of the other ones haven't worked as well for me, so pay attention to bead color. But this 2.5 inch one works really well. Rolls just like a herring or a wounded bait fish, and it's been very, very fishy. And you bait it the exact same as you do the rest of them. It's a pull apart, okay? And we're stuffing that cavity with just some tuna, some garlic, you know, krill powder, your standard stuff there. And it's just like the other spinfish sizes. So we got a counterclockwise and a clockwise roll on this. This one happens to be going to the right. I've been fishing them all to the left, so this is the first one I've actually caught going to the right. So kind of a fun little tool to play with, kind of a fun part of my job, and Cody's job being pro staff is being able to test out these new products to bring them to you to put more fish in your boat. Kind of tugging like a fat little sockeye.
Sockeye. Scoop him. We're professionals.
That's awesome. Sockeye on a spinfish. I've been doing really well in this color. You can see the pink tubing. I'll show you that in just a second. This has been one of my really good colors. It's called the monkey pickle. And it's been really good for sockeye. I think it has to do with this pink butt, but I also think it has to do with this pink tubing. You can see I slid this little piece in here. And you know, we're just putting tuna inside these. We're fishing them, you know, right now on 10 ounces of lead, 20 feet out with a Pro Troll flasher. Just like I said earlier, 36-inch leader, and doing very well. So something you definitely want to try. And I've noticed, like I said, this little pink piece of tubing back here is definitely up to my sockeye catch with the spinfish.
Well, making progress. 1 king, 1 sockeye. Had a couple other sockeye bites. Jared lost one on the side of the boat. Gee, I wonder how. We've had about 4 or 5 bites so far.
Sockeye. Oh, he's on there. He's on there. He's on there.
5 or 6 bites now. And he's not on there, liar.
Oh, he was on there.
But our strategy here for the rest of the evening is to switch things up. We tried for kings when the sun was high. Now that the sun's starting to drop, it's time to switch back over to sockeye. Because, as I mentioned earlier, these sockeye do have large eyes, and so they are low light feeders for the most part. They really hunker down when the sun is high. But now that the sun is starting to drop, guess what? We just had another bite. Fast limit dodger, little spin glow, little hoochie, hung a shrimp. Get it back out there. Ooh, son. Well, we're starting to run out of daylight here, and this is our last hurrah. So we're changing up all the baits on every single rod. We keep on getting short strikes, but they're just not hanging. With as fast action as it has been, this is honestly fairly disappointing. We only got 1 sockeye and 1 king. We probably had, honestly, about 8-10 bites, but they're just not sticking. That's twice in a row now we've hit this corner and a rod's got bit and nothing to show for it. It's frustrating. Well, if you look behind me right now, it looks like the dam has opened up the gates. They are letting a lot of water out, and in most cases that tends to kill the bite. But what's fortunate for us right now, the bite has already been terrible, so it can't get any worse. So hopefully that'll make it happen, but honestly, we're pushing 9 o'clock. We still got to get out here early tomorrow morning. I don't know how much longer we're gonna stick it out here between that flow, lack of action, and the fact we got to get up at 2:30 in the morning. Might just need to call it and cross our fingers that tomorrow the bite will be white hot. All you, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Fish on, here we go.
Finally,
Get the net, get the net.
Get the net.
Right, we were calling it a day. Want to trade me?
Here, I'll just bring these. They're there.
Oh, you
Ready?
lost him.
No, I did. He broke me off.
Broke the leader?
What in the
That's the
heck?
kind of night we've been having. Just can't win.
that's funny. Sometimes you're the windshield, sometimes you're the bug, and sometimes you're the stuff that's after the bug. And we've been after the bug all day.
And we got breakers coming.
Well, hello, Mr. Wade.
Oh, it's been a fun afternoon. Hey, we got a nice big king. We did have a sockeye. Should have two, but someone tried to bounce it in the boat. No, dude, what are you doing? Should have three.
I can't see, but
Someone had crappy leader on.
I'm not saying who because I bounced a sockeye off the side of the boat, but someone didn't check their leader.
Why would we want to break the trend we've set here today and start landing fish? Perfect, isn't it?
That's so funny.
It's a perfect way to end the day.
It's so funny.
Oh.